Welcome to BP Farming. We're here at National Farm Machinery Show today. Sitting here, checking things out. John Deere booth's a little busy. We'll get in there. So we're looking at a new Class 8 Deere combine. I'm looking to see the changes they've made. Very similar here in the back.
A little less aggressive and then
Does it look a lot different from our 19? I see there's a clutch here for shut off. That's different. There's always an add-on. I guess it's factory now. Don't see any changes here. I've not been up close to one of the new corn heads. Nice heavy cast piece there. How they do the stompers down here. I guess there's this crossauger shut off they were talking about. Is that one set pretty good? Looks like we got a happy guy. Come on! Come on! Almost! Made it! It's an AF10. It's a little different than that.
how about you? I just turned out
8250 we demoed. Look at that unload spout. That's legit.
If you turn around, you can see the camera just like this one.
Really did a nice job of routing all these lines. Our older Kinze's just had, they'd run the rubber in the tube. Nice having the stainless lines. Familiar with this. Some of this has got precision stuff on it. Now our gauge wheels on the Kinze are back and push forward. They trail on this, which is kind of a nice feature on the case. Not rebuilt one to know a lot about. I know the tail's a lot different setup here. All the manufacturers of parallel arms are getting a lot heavier duty. Those are cast iron. This got Delta Force. Since to the old springs or airbags, we have hydraulic cylinder for downforce, which is why they have all these lines. Each one of these cylinders has hydraulic pressure ran to it. So we also have an air compressor. Looks like Case has done a good job keeping it clean underneath. In our DP60, it's really bad if you blow any air lines or have to do work under here. Looks like they've kind of addressed that on this. And just like our Kinze, I see the hydraulic down pressure on the wings. Okay, here's where our air compressor is required. They're running air down pressure right here, and it'll be on these closing discs. Well, we got to take a break. We're on the hunt for some French fries. It was bound to happen. We got a full pull out of the deal, though. He did good there. And here's a Harvest International unit. This is a lot heavier tail. See, we've got a greasable set up there. That's different. Gauge wheels trail. We're used to that. Razor Pro arms. Really heavy duty row unit. Tire Industries went forward with a lot larger bearings. We started with Martin's, and Martin had some really small bearings in some of their early closing wheels that, I mean, they're out all the time. So it became a big deal to get better bearings and things, and I'm seeing all the manufacturers are really beefing things up. we gotta check out the Massey sprayer. Hello, Farm Show. Wow, the calves have really come a long way in these. It's looks like Fendt stuff in here. Massey Ferguson planter. We ran a white. It was an 8000 series. It's been a long time. Cast iron. Scrapers there. Now see, they're still on a bushing here. That's common. It looks like it's a heavier bushing, but precision planting, AGCO. Of course, you have V-set meters on there. Hydraulic downforce. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot thicker than the older planters. Looks pretty easy to work on, as far as that goes. New Gleaner. Looks simple to work on, as far as that goes. Just never been a Gleaner guy. The rotor sets this way instead of front to back, side to side. Climb up here on this Gleaner and take a look around. Totally redesigned engine compartment. That's pretty impressive. Okay, there's your rotor. So see, it sets side to side in the machine instead of front to back. Now the negative to this is it discharges on one side and they have to spread that out the back still. But I'm sure that they have a method for that too. I would imagine it's got one of those AGCO Sisu engines in it. They really run good. They kind of made this where a guy can work on it. Impressive.
Talk about this cutting costs, slashing, fertilizing about this.
We've got this all opened up on the side. See up in there in the engine compartment. All the bearings are right here, easy to get to. They said these are easy to work on. They legit appear to be easy to work on. Made it. Oh man. Wow. It's the largest cab I've sat in a combine. It's a Gleaner. It's the new Class 7 Gleaner. There's a Fendt in the distance. A lot of new Fendt controls. Really nice vision from the cab. Okay, buddy, we ready? Now this is interesting. This is the Fendt Momentum planter. And it flexes more than any of the others. Looks really easy to work on as far as that goes. Now this is a 31 row, 40 foot. Lots of room to work under there. Inflation system. It airs up to go down the road, lowers the pressure in the field, reduces compaction. Fendt Ideal combine. Now I've ran an Ideal 8. It wasn't a T. It was a 2019, so it was really early on. I hear they've changed quite a bit on them since I've ran one. But really nice machine. Trac system's quite a bit larger than what was on the case. A250 we demoed. Fendt Ideal 8T. Oh, it's a twin rotor. See both of them packed in there. Things that need greased. Wow. Clean grain elevator's pretty large. There's quite a bit going on back here on the Fendt. Get that unloading on. 31 foot. Well, I don't know what that one is. I know they make 31 foot. So this doesn't have a steering wheel. Has joystick to drive. Now I'm not rambling like that, but I imagine that's nice. Fendt sprayer. This is made for high clearance. All cast iron, heavy. Dang, heavy duty. I definitely recommend the easy drops. We had good luck with those on the Hagee. Looking at a Fendt tractor.
Really?
936. Trac, high horsepower. Not ran a 2-track tractor, so don't really have a comment there. Put all their weights here. Set right there, so that's weighted up. I was walking by and I saw this quick till, and it looks like our CaseIH speed tiller. I haven't looked that up, but I'm pretty sure that our CaseIH speed tiller 475 is just this quick tiller. So they still make this. It's equipped just like ours. I think ours is 21 foot, this is a 30. So it has a wing tire, is how you can tell ours being 21 foot doesn't have a wing tire. A little different setup lifting it, but overall, you can definitely tell our CaseIH speed tiller is one of these. I really like the heavy bearings. Here we have a yield track planter. They're using CaseIH row units and bulk fill. And I guess they're making their own toolbar. It's on tracks. Story is here. That's a hydraulic motor. Huh. Plate. They must be driving this somehow. It's got a dog bone and then it picks up there. That's a little bit different. Normally it's one straight bar. A little different setup. Now these tracks being long, that's a lot bigger footprint. So it's going to handle all the weight of this fertilizer and seed. That'll be the selling point on the planter. Looks nice. Yield track. Take a look at a Honeybee flex draper. We run a 645 Deere and also a Macdon FD75. This would compete with those heads. A little different setup. And I'm used to. I hear good reviews on these heads. Honeybee flex draper. Now its trailer is actually built in, so you don't have to have a head trailer. Nice looking sickle. Heavy cast guards. transition area. It looks like that's nice there. Okay, that's a little different. Not sure. Now they don't drive on the ends, they drive from the center. As I say, there's airbags for call this an air flex. That'll be why. Use airbags instead of hydraulic. Macdon has springs, the Deere's hydraulic, and this one uses air. They all accomplish similar things. Can't come to the farm show without stopping by the Sukup booth. There's the model. I've seen this on YouTube. The model of our mixed flow dryer. We've got a 2413. There. Okay, we're going to see a little bit about our dryer. So when you look on our triangles on the outside, this is what we see inside. It just diverts the grain. Air can come through here, but the grain can't come out. By these being there, it makes the grain go back and forth, so it's not just coming down the column, drying in one spot. Gets down to here. It's the cooling chamber. We recapture that heat. It goes back up. Really impressed with the Sukup system. Paddle sweep. So this system touches the floor, draws to the center, and you don't have to enter the bin. It sweeps it for you. Too expensive or we'd have them. That's a really good feature. I'm pretty impressed they could do that. I've heard good reviews on it. Just going to be cost prohibitive to put one of those in an existing bin when our sweep works. Apparently they rides on these. They put these in the bin, but you can see that rubs right against the floor. That's going to sweep the whole thing without manpower. Now see, our sweep tunnels are connected to the gearbox in the center of our bins. It's going to be a lot of similar situations here. There's a chain underneath. It's a lot bigger. Now this is more current. It's a new model. I see a few changes, but this is what we have. So this is in the floor of our bins. You can see there's our gearbox. Runs down to a chain. Bolt right there. Anyway, we check the levels in these gearboxes. This is our door that opens when it's in our bins. This is in the floor of our bins. There's a sweep tunnel before the safety features are removed. That was me. Actually, ours was just like this. It just had the one. A little different sweep on the end. Gear reduced to slow down. A little bigger paddle. I've heard good on that. Don't know if that's adaptable to our sweep. It might be. Something to look at. Well, this is real similar. Mine's just a little dirtier. Here's a conveyor like we have at home that comes from our dump pit to our leg. You can see this chain runs. It goes this way. These drag, and it's just they call it drag conveyor for that reason. It's just like what we have at home. You see, you have to keep this chain tight, grease these bearings, little things like that, but there's not a lot to them. You usually have a gear reducer gearbox of some sort somewhere. In Sukup, they build a bin like the other manufacturers. They build one inside. Capello corn heads. Now we run a Geringhoff, so we need to look at this. Reasonable there. Little hydraulic deck plates. And it's a chopping head, so it's got lawnmower style blades underneath that will be chopping the stalks as you shell the corn, which will be why it has a little bit bigger gearbox here. You don't run a chopping head, nice heavy duty stalk stomper. I like that. There's the lawnmower blades I'm talking about. So see, these roll, pull the corn down, and then these chop too. So that's why they put this rubber sheeting at the back, kind of like a lawnmower. See? Nice drive over pit. Just drive your semi, dump right there on the bell. Giant grain cart. Pretty cool wrap they've got going there. Large auger. See, it's got a tilt spout. Here's their Trac system. It's just like on a semi, so it's got oil. You can see in there. You can get, it says your level full or half, just like a semi. Cool. Hydraulic old dampener accumulator, whatever you call it. Must be to dampen suspension. Using it for suspension, I assume. Water. Just in case of fire. Nice clean outdoor. There's an Apache sprayer. It's got an aluminum boom. 120 footer, you can see. We looked at an Apache at one time. We just needed the high clearance option for tall corn. Now that they come down, I assume, yes. So the drive shaft runs them down to, I'm assuming, a gear case instead of the hydraulic motors like on our Hagee. And I just said there's no high clearance option. This is their high clearance option. I see a hydraulic cylinder and an airbag. Don't know. We're gonna look. Same deal. I see a hydraulic cylinder and an airbag. Apache. We use an under seed tender. You can see how the conveyor flips around, so you can fill it with the conveyor. Now this one's a gooseneck. Ours is just on a bumper hitch. Let's just see if they changed anything. Talker. Now ours, it's all manual the way you move it. I guess this one's on a switch. It moves. Yeah. Ours, you manually crank the doors. See, they got little hydraulic cylinders. Shut your doors. Would be handy on the bulk fill planer when you're on the top. Now let's look at a Drago. It's their row unit on their corn head. Okay, so they come in off the combine right here. They go up and they drive this shaft that drives to this gearbox, and it's going to run your shafts. So this gearbox services these rows, and then that one services those. Heavy aluminum gearboxes. It's kind of an opening. You can see what's inside one of these. I've definitely seen the inside of a gear case. That's a nice one. Now these have cushions right here underneath the deck plates. Now, the theory is corn hits that and there's a little give. We have a chamfered deck plate on our Geringhoff because butt shelling is a problem, and this is their answer for the butt shelling. I think it's a good idea. Now these are self-adjusting, so they constantly put pressure. I don't know if there's any issue there. Guys seem to like these things. I doubt there is. Nice looking corn head. J&M green card. Geringhoff corn heads. Well, check this out. Now this is a roto disc. It's unique. The corn comes down and it shreds via these. Instead of having a snap roll, it's actually cutting up and down. makes the corn stalks into ribbons. Now we don't have that. We have the North Star. Just a little bit different gearbox right there. Okay, so here we have the roto disc. And then we have the North Star XDC. Extreme decomposition rolls. Wow. I've not seen those yet. That's interesting. Okay. Then we have Patriot North Star, which is slightly different than we have. Real similar setup. You can see we're just doing our chopping right here through the rolls. And then now we come down, we've got North Star. This is our actual gearbox in our corn head. Now see the springs self-adjust. Chains are nice to take off. Now on ours, we change these out. They don't cushion like the Drago. So we have a chamfer on our deck plates, but that's a stock. See how they have a ring welded, which is helpful. In my opinion, it causes a little butt shelling. Overall, I love the Geringhoff unit though. Lightweight, heavy duty. So there's the roto disc. You can see how it's sucking that down. XDC. See these turn. And then here's what we do. It's North Star, and see we pinch in different spots. Now XDC, I can see those pull harder than ours. You can see they intermesh right there. I'll watch as we turn them. And our North Star, they just touch. They don't intermesh, they just touch. That's the difference in them. Roll the roto disc, it won't roll, but those go in between. Just a little different setup. Geringhoff flex draper. Now I think they use an SCH cutting system, which was on our Adco head. Yeah, there's a roller. That's instead of having the back plates, they put rollers on it. SCH. Now we won't be able to go down there, but it drives from the center. Now it uses wheels, and those are active. I'm not sure on that. Not demoed one. This would be a competitor to our 645 FD and also our FD75. They're known for extreme flex. Kinze. So let's stop by the Kinze booth. See their latest. They changed their row unit around some from the planer we have. It's different. Cast iron, heavier. We use springs. We got an airbag there. A lot heavier duty set up there than what we have. And like all the manufacturers, they're using the heavier arms, bigger bushings. Now they use their own hydraulic downforce system. They don't use the Delta Force. Kinze has their own. I believe this toolbar, this is a 24 row 30. It's going to be similar to our 4900 series, but there'll be a few differences here. So here's the updated parallel arms that they have for the old row units. That's pretty cool. Hadn't seen that yet. Now this is a closer to the row unit that we have. We had some 3000 series, so that's more what we're used to. There's their 5200. You can see it's electric drive meter. Changed their row unit like the other manufacturers. Everybody's went heavier, bigger arms, electric drive. And Kinze is too. Yeah, this is a Kinze 5900. Very similar to our 4900. Our meters are different, but some of the housing and things looks very similar. I believe Ag Leader was part of that, or it is, makes them, not sure. Our planer is on the pneumatic down pressure, so we have these airbags, and everybody's going these hydraulic cylinders. They act faster. Trailing arm set up. Here's a row unit cut out. Now this is their latest high-speed setup from Kinze. So when the seed comes through the meter, it drops on this belt, and the belt takes it clear down to the bottom. Ours just has a tube, and the seed just drops. This controls the drop, and it's more accurate. It's the way to go gradually here. And like I said, hydraulic down pressure. Now this is the newest row cleaner, so they use airbags there. A little different than what we're used to. We normally have one cylinder in the center of our floating row cleaners, and the new designs run like a double bag setup there, airbags. This is the front of the row unit, and this is the back. I guess that gets confusing the way I'm looking at it. Yeah. Overall, it's busy under there, but still not like the DB. Our DB60 is the hardest to work on underneath the tanks. That's a little different with cylinders, not seen that. Huh. And this will do with all the fertilizer stuff, this too. Platform and tanks look just like what we have on our 4900 Kinze. Pretty cool. There's the air compressors down here on the wing. Now we don't run liquid fertilizer now, but we did. And we did run some off the back of the closing wheels. This is the back of the planer, and they're just squirting it on the ground. We had trouble with it getting all over the back of the planer, so I guess I like it a little better when they're putting it in with a disc, like right here. So they're going to put this in with a disc, and it goes down. There's a knife here, but you're going to go 2 or 3 inches in the ground and cover it so you don't have any fertilizer spray. I definitely like that a little better. Claas. Now we'll take a look at this. Not demoed Alexian. So we're just going to check it out. Our spraying arrangement back here. Corn eating machine. Heard nothing but good about them. Now we ran a Claas when I was younger, and also Ford 642s. They were a Claas just painted blue. So we've ran Clauses, but not in modern times. 4-strand feeder house on this. Got a John Deere sprayer set here. Just figured I'd check it out. Different than our Hagee, of course. Same company now. It's got exact apply on it. The balls are 2200. 1,200 bushel grain car. Now they steer the tires to be able to turn that. That's a big one. Macdon booth. FD2. So Macdon has a new FD2 series. 45-foot FD2 is supposed to weigh less than a 45-foot FD75. Yeah. They do a 3-piece reel. Ours, they split the reel, so it's just 2-piece, and the motors are right in the center. And it's harder to see, so they move these. So your line of sight in the centers now doesn't have this set up in it. They put 3 augers instead of just meeting them there in the middle. Guards and the blades are different than what we're used to. Bolts are different as well. Everything on the cutting system is definitely different than at ours. I have changed a few things here on set your balance on the wings, your float. Some updates there. A little different setup here too than what our FD75. Overall, really like Macdon's. This FD2 to be here in a few years will be one to look at. And steering the head trailer. Okay, didn't even see that. Look at that. And it steers by same way. There's your arm. That bar comes back, hits this, turns your wheels. See that right there? There's an F780. We don't need to look at that. We have to look at those all the time. That's what we have at home. This one has Tracs. They've got their corn head mounted on it. We'll take a look at that corn head real quick. This would compete with our Geringhoff head as far as that goes. Hydraulic cylinder there. So all of the heads are normally rigid. This one actually flexes. Something they're starting to do. Oh, there we go. Flexible. Something they're starting to do with some of the corn heads. Geringhoff started doing that. Road unit. I have to ask somebody, but I'm pretty sure this would be what they call a Harvest Tech head. I think that Macdon bought that company. Nice looking corn head. It's nice that it flexes. Some of the hills on the 12 row, one end will be too high, one end's in the ground, so there are some circumstances that'd be handy. Pretty cool that they're doing it. See, they're getting an award for it. Letting the head flex. Just wondering how they do that down there. Bearing hanger comes up from the bottom. See, ours comes from the top because it doesn't flex. And they do make the Macdon in a 61 foot draper. That's a big one. Don't know how practical that is, but man, it's cool. The combine rotor when it's out. They're advertising these high wear elements. That's the New Holland version of the Class 10. It'll be just like the Case. At least I think they're the same. Well, we're going to see that, and that's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching.